Okay, now we're going to continue where we left off. So we're gonna create a new form. Okay, so this is the form's name here. So this is just used to identify the form settings. So we'll call this list building, list leads. Okay, our newsletter. So we've defined only one newsletter, but the list drop-down list will be there. Return URL. This is where they're going to be sent after they have subscribed. So you'd want to set up a page somewhere, or you could send them to your blog homepage, wherever you want to send them. This is where you put the URL in here. Okay, so I'm just going to use my front page for now. But you could just go and set up a page on your blog, or you could set up a page somewhere else. Okay, blog description. This will, if you want, you can add them in to your posts. You can subscribe them to your posts, or you can subscribe them to a category. I'm not going to do that on a standalone autoresponder. Okay, follow-up subscription. So the content that will follow up will be the autoresponder lead list here. Okay, so that's going to add them to our lead list autoresponder. And then our subscribe button text. We have subscribe here. We can change that. Okay, so down here we have our confirmation email. So we can change these if we want down here. Okay, so let's create the form and get the code. Now if you wanted to put it on the sidebar, you can use widgets and put it on the sidebar of your blog. Okay, but what I want to do is use the form code. Now with the form code you can put it on any web page. So that's how we're able to use this autoresponder for any of our websites. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do a select all here and copy. You can preview here. It's outside of our window here. Okay, so that's all it is. It says name and email and subscribe. So what you could do is just build yourself a table or use the div tags and create a nice box to put around this. This just gives you the basic part of the subscribe box, just like any other autoresponder. It doesn't have any styling, so you're going to have to do that part yourself. Okay, so let's take that now, go to our front page, and we're going to edit page, and we'll just say subscribe here. Now we need to go to text here. We can't do this in visual because this is code that we have here. So we're using it in WordPress. We're going to have to put that in like that. We'll update. Okay, now let's view the page. So we'll visit the site. Okay, because we set this as our front page. And here we go. Okay, as you see my wonderful typing, I made a mistake up here, but we can fix that easily. So enter your name, be Tony, and email. Okay, so let's subscribe now. We'll run through a test. Okay, now remember our return URL just sent us back here, but we would have set up a custom page. Okay, so now at that email address, we should have received our email for the subscription. Okay, so here we are. Here's the response required email, so let's click on that. So it wants us to confirm, and so here it is. We'll click on the confirm link here. Okay, so it's confirmed our subscription. Now let's go back in here and let's do a refresh. Alright, so now it sent us the automated newsletter just telling them that they are in the autoresponder sequence and they're soon going to start receiving the emails. And here they can manage their email subscription. So let's go here. And remember, when we set up the newsletter, we were able to list the name of the newsletter so that we can show them here, and they can unsubscribe to multiples at once. Let's just cancel that. Okay, so there it is. So now our autoresponder will start sending out the newsletters. Okay, so back to our dashboard, you'll see that we now have one confirmed subscriber. Okay, now let's go down here to background processes. This is where you can set your autoresponders to run, and you also have your post series, which we didn't go here, but if you use the post series you can use that. Newsletter broadcast processor, so that's for broadcast. Blog post email delivery responses, that's for blog posts, which we didn't go over and we're not using here. And blog category subscriptions. Okay, so you can use these to force the delivery. And then here you have queue management. This shows you what's in the queues. So we have one email pending delivery. So it's going to go out to that subscriber, which we just tested. And once it does, it will delete the sent emails out of here by itself. Okay, so it's all ready to go. Okay, now let's talk about broadcasts. So we can do a new broadcast. And we can broadcast to the newsletter. And then we can put in our subject here, our text body. Okay, then we have our custom fields, so we have name and email down here. And then if we want to send it in HTML, we can send it in HTML as well. So either way, you can do text, and then if you want to do HTML as well, I'm going to disable HTML. So let's just put a quick one in here. Let's just say subject test broadcast. And testing. Okay, down here we can send it immediately, or we can set a time. Okay, so if we click this, we can go into here, set the date and time. I'm going to send it immediately. Okay, so there's a preview function here, but there's a bug in it. So as you see, it doesn't work. So just have a look at what you put in here and make sure that it's okay. Then we can just send the message. Okay, so there we go. It's been scheduled and will be delivered at the specified time, which was immediately. So if we go down to queue management now, you'll see that we have one in here. Okay, so we should get a broadcast shortly. Now, what we can do, if we go down to background procs, we can tell it to use the broadcast. So the newsletter broadcast processor, we can click run now, and that'll process those. Okay, let's go back to queue management. Okay, you'll see we have 2 in the queue now. Okay, so it's going to send those out, and once it does, it'll delete them out of the queue. Just a couple more quick subjects here. Let's go to actions. What this is it's list automation. So what you can do is if they unsubscribe from one newsletter, you can have them subscribe to another. This is how you could use or you could build your buyers list from a lead list. So if they unsubscribe from the list building newsletter, you can subscribe them to a different newsletter. So if you had a course on building a list and they subscribe to that, you would want to unsubscribe them from this newsletter. So that keeps your buyers list and your leads list separate. Okay, and then the other thing is you can import and export leads. Okay, so if you have a different autoresponder, you can bring them in here. So you can import your leads, or you can download and export your leads here. Okay, so that's all there is to it. That's how you can set up your own autoresponder system using WordPress.